30 days completely changed my life. At 65, after 4 years of getting up every 2 hours to pee, after watching my stream get weaker month by month, after that terrifying prostate cancer diagnosis at 61, I discovered one simple daily habit that made my symptoms vanish. I'm talking about sleeping 8 straight hours. Strong, confident flow. No more constant pressure. No more embarrassing weak streams. And the habit that did it? It's going to shock you because it goes against everything doctors tell men with prostate problems. My name is Thomas Whitfield, and I'm a 65-year-old prostate cancer survivor who refused surgery and found another way. What I'm about to share isn't medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy who lived through hell and clawed his way back to normal. The habit I discovered is so simple you'll think I'm crazy, but it works because it addresses the real root cause of prostate symptoms that nobody talks about. But first, let me take you back to where I was just over a year ago. Because if you're watching this video, you're probably living the same nightmare I was. Picture this. It's 3 a.m. and you're standing in your bathroom for the 4th time since midnight, willing your body to just work normally. Your wife is exhausted from your constant tossing and turning. You're running on 3 hours of broken sleep again. The stream starts weak, stops, starts again, and you're left with that familiar feeling that you didn't empty completely. You shuffle back to bed knowing you'll be up again in an hour. That was my reality at 64, 4 years after my prostate cancer diagnosis. I had refused surgery. The risks of incontinence and erectile dysfunction were too high for me. My PSA was stable. The cancer wasn't spreading, but my quality of life was in the gutter. I was taking saw palmetto, zinc, beta-sitosterol, pumpkin seed oil, every supplement the health stores recommended. I'd cut out caffeine, alcohol, spicy foods. I was doing pelvic floor exercises religiously. Nothing was working. My urologist kept pushing surgery. "Thomas, we can fix this with a simple TURP procedure," he'd say. But I'd read the statistics. 20% chance of retrograde ejaculation, 15% chance of ongoing incontinence. I wasn't ready to trade one problem for potentially worse ones. That's when I met Frank at my cancer support group. Frank was 73, sharp as a tack, and he mentioned something that caught my attention. He'd been dealing with severe nighttime urination for over a decade, getting up 5-6 times a night. His quality of life was terrible. Then he tried something his nephew, who's a naturopathic doctor, suggested. Frank looked embarrassed when we pressed him for details. "It sounds ridiculous," he said, "but I haven't gotten up at night in 6 weeks." What Frank described changed everything I thought I knew about prostate health. His nephew had explained that most prostate symptoms aren't actually about the prostate itself. They're about something called reverse osmosis dysfunction in the bladder and kidneys. Basically, when we drink fluids randomly throughout the day, especially in the evening, we create this chaotic cycle where our bodies can't properly concentrate urine overnight. Frank's nephew had put him on what he called a structured hydration protocol. Not drinking more water, drinking the same amount, but at very specific times in a very specific way. Frank would drink 32 ounces of water first thing upon waking, then nothing but small sips until 2 p.m. Then another 24 ounces between 2 and 4 p.m. After 4 p.m., nothing except tiny sips if absolutely necessary. I thought Frank had lost his mind. How could the timing of when you drink water possibly affect prostate symptoms? But Frank looked healthier and more energetic than I'd seen him in years. "Thomas," he said, "I was skeptical too. But what if I told you that your kidneys and bladder work on a circadian rhythm, just like everything else in your body? What if the timing of your fluid intake is completely throwing off that natural rhythm?" That night, I couldn't stop thinking about what Frank had said. I started researching kidney function and circadian rhythms. What I discovered was fascinating and completely changed my understanding of why I was getting up all night. See, your kidneys have a natural daily rhythm. During the day, they're designed to process fluids quickly and produce dilute urine. At night, they're supposed to concentrate urine and produce much less of it, allowing you to sleep for 7 to 8 hours without interruption. But here's what happens when you drink fluids randomly throughout the day, especially in the evening. You completely disrupt this natural rhythm. Your kidneys never get the signal to switch into nighttime mode. They keep producing large volumes of dilute urine all night long. Your bladder fills up quickly. You wake up to empty it. But because the urine isn't properly concentrated, you never really empty completely. You feel like you have to go again within an hour or two. It's not that your prostate is blocking the flow, though that might be part of it. It's that your kidneys are producing too much urine at the wrong times and not concentrating it properly when they should. The structured hydration protocol works by retraining your kidneys to follow their natural circadian rhythm. By front-loading your water intake in the morning and early afternoon, then tapering off completely by 4 p.m., you give your kidneys clear signals about when to be active and when to conserve. I decided to try Frank's protocol, but I was skeptical. The first few days were rough. I was incredibly thirsty in the evenings, having to resist the urge to drink water after dinner. But something interesting started happening by day 3. I was still getting up twice a night instead of my usual 4 times, but the volume when I urinated was much larger. My bladder felt more completely empty. By the end of the first week, I was down to getting up once per night. The stream was stronger too. By day 10, something remarkable happened. I slept from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. without getting up once. 8 straight hours. I actually panicked when I woke up, thinking something was wrong. But no, my bladder was full but comfortable, and when I urinated, the stream was strong and complete. I felt like I was 40 years old again. But the real test came over the following weeks. Was this just a fluke, or was the protocol actually retraining my system? I committed to tracking everything meticulously. Every bathroom trip, the time, the quality of flow, how I felt upon waking. After 20 days, the pattern was undeniable. My average nightly bathroom trips went from 3.8 per night to 0.6 per night. My longest sleep stretch went from 2.1 hours to 6.8 hours. But more importantly, I felt human again. My energy during the day was through the roof. My mood improved dramatically. My wife couldn't believe the change. "You're like a different person," she said. "You have your spark back." The mechanism behind why this works fascinated me, so I dove deeper into the research. What I learned completely changed my perspective on prostate health. Our kidneys have what's called an antidiuretic hormone rhythm. During the day, levels of this hormone are low, so your kidneys process fluids quickly. At night, ADH levels rise, signaling your kidneys to conserve water and concentrate urine. But this system only works properly when you give it consistent signals. When you drink fluids randomly throughout the day, especially large amounts in the evening, you confuse this natural rhythm. Your kidneys never get clear signals about when to be in day mode versus night mode. There's actually research backing this up. A 2018 study in the Journal of Clinical Medicine found that men with nocturia who followed a structured hydration protocol showed significant improvements in nighttime urination frequency after just 4 weeks. The key insight is that it's not about how much you drink, it's about when you drink it. Now, implementing this protocol requires precision and commitment. You can't just randomly drink less water in the evening and expect results. The timing has to be exact, and you have to stick to it religiously for at least 30 days to retrain your system. Here's exactly what I do every single day. I wake up at 6 a.m. and immediately drink 32 ounces of room temperature water. Not cold water, because that can shock your system. Not warm water with lemon or anything fancy. Just plain room temperature water. I drink this within the first 30 minutes of waking, usually while I'm getting dressed and having my morning routine. From 6:30 a.m. until 2 p.m., I only take small sips of water if absolutely necessary. maybe 4 to 6 ounces total during this entire period. This feels uncomfortable at first, especially if you're used to sipping water throughout the morning, but your body adapts quickly. At exactly 2 p.m., I drink another 24 ounces of water. Again, room temperature, plain water. I drink this fairly quickly, within about 15 minutes. After 4 p.m., I stop drinking almost completely. If I'm absolutely parched, I might take a tiny sip of water, but I'm talking about maybe half an ounce total between 4 p.m. and bedtime. This is the most challenging part, especially during dinner and the evening hours. One thing that really helped me track this consistently was finding an app designed for monitoring hydration patterns and prostate symptoms. I'll put the link in the pinned comment if you want to check it out. Having that daily tracking kept me accountable and let me see the improvements in real time. The results after 30 days were dramatic. But let me share some specific data because the numbers tell the story. Before starting the protocol, average of 3.8 bathroom trips per night. Average sleep stretch of 2.1 hours. Weak urine stream rated 4 out of 10. Constant feeling of incomplete emptying. After 30 days, average of 0.6 bathroom trips per night. Average sleep stretch of 6.8 hours. Strong urine stream, rated 8 out of 10. Complete bladder emptying 90% of the time. But beyond the numbers, the quality of life improvements were incredible. I had energy during the day for the first time in years. My concentration at work improved dramatically. My relationship with my wife strengthened because we were both sleeping well again. I stopped planning my life around bathroom locations. The constant anxiety about prostate cancer and symptoms faded into the background. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too simple. There has to be a catch. And you're right to be skeptical. I was too. But here's the thing. Simple doesn't mean easy. This protocol requires discipline and consistency that most people aren't willing to commit to. The first 2 weeks are genuinely challenging. You'll be thirsty in the evenings. You'll want to drink water with dinner. Your body will resist the new routine. But if you can push through those initial 2 weeks, your system starts to adapt. Your natural thirst patterns shift to align with the protocol. Your kidneys begin following their proper circadian rhythm again. The key is understanding that you're not just changing a habit, you're retraining a complex physiological system that has been disrupted for years or even decades. It takes time and consistency to create lasting change. I've now been following this protocol for over a year, and the results have been sustained. I sleep through the night about 85% of the time, which at 65 is pretty remarkable. When I do get up, it's usually just once, and I go right back to sleep. My stream remains strong and complete. But perhaps most importantly, I no longer live with constant anxiety about my prostate. I feel in control of my health in a way I haven't since before my diagnosis. What's interesting is that this protocol has helped with other issues I didn't expect. My lower back pain, which I'd attributed to age, has virtually disappeared. Apparently, constantly interrupted sleep and the stress of prostate symptoms were contributing to chronic inflammation throughout my body. My blood pressure has also improved. My doctor was shocked at my last physical. "Whatever you're doing, keep it up," he said. I've now shared this protocol with dozens of men in my support group and online communities. The success rate has been remarkable. There's Robert, a 59-year-old accountant who was getting up 5 times a night. After 30 days on the protocol, he's down to once per night and sleeping better than he has in 15 years. There's Mike, a 68-year-old retired mechanic who is considering surgery for his enlarged prostate. 6 weeks of structured hydration, and his symptoms improved so much that his urologist suggested postponing surgery indefinitely. What I find most encouraging is that the men who stick to the protocol religiously see the best results. It's not a sometimes thing or a when you remember thing. It has to become as automatic as brushing your teeth. Now let me address some common questions and concerns about this approach. First, won't I be dehydrated if I don't drink water after 4 p.m.? The answer is no. As long as you're getting adequate fluids earlier in the day, your total daily intake remains the same. You're just timing it differently. Your body adapts to this pattern within a few weeks. Second, what about medications or supplements I take in the evening? You can take these with minimal water, just enough to swallow pills. We're talking about a few ounces at most, which won't disrupt the protocol. Third, what if I'm really thirsty after 4 p.m.? This is normal during the adjustment period. Your thirst patterns have been conditioned by years of random fluid intake. Try rinsing your mouth with water without swallowing, or sucking on ice chips if you're truly uncomfortable. The thirst will diminish as your body adapts. Fourth, does this work for everyone? In my experience, about 80% of men who follow the protocol exactly as described see significant improvements within 30 days. The other 20% may have more complex underlying issues that require additional interventions. But even for these men, the protocol often provides some improvement in symptoms. What doesn't work is trying to modify the protocol to make it more convenient. I've seen men try to drink their water later in the morning, or extend the cutoff time to 6 p.m., or make other adjustments. The results are never as good. The timing has to be precise because you're working with specific hormonal rhythms that don't adjust to your preferences. If you're dealing with prostate symptoms right now, if you're tired of planning your life around bathrooms, if you're exhausted from broken sleep night after night, I want you to try this protocol. But I want you to commit to it properly. Don't try it half-heartedly for a week and give up. Commit to 30 full days of exact adherence to the timing. Track your results daily. Note how many times you get up, the quality of your sleep, changes in stream strength, and how you feel during the day. Be patient with the adjustment period. The first 2 weeks are the hardest, but that's when the real retraining is happening. Here's your action plan starting tomorrow morning. Set your alarm 15 minutes earlier than usual. As soon as you wake up, drink 32 ounces of room temperature water within 30 minutes. Limit fluid intake to small sips only between 6:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. At exactly 2 p.m., drink 24 ounces of room temperature water within 15 minutes. After 4 p.m., only tiny sips if absolutely necessary. Track everything for 30 days. I promise you, if you follow this exactly, you'll see improvements that will shock you. Your sleep will improve, your energy will return, and you'll stop living in fear of your prostate symptoms. One final thought. This protocol also helped me with something else many men our age struggle with, but rarely discuss openly: erectile function. Better sleep, reduced pelvic pressure, and improved overall health have positive effects on circulation and hormone balance. Several men in my support group have reported improvements in this area as well, though we don't talk about it as openly as urinary symptoms. The point is, fixing one aspect of your health often creates a cascade of positive changes throughout your body. You're not just addressing prostate symptoms, you're optimizing multiple systems that have been disrupted by years of poor sleep and chronic stress. If my story helped you, if you can see yourself getting your life back like I did, please subscribe to this channel. I share everything I learn on this journey back to health, and there's always more to discover about natural approaches that actually work. And remember, that tracking app I mentioned is linked in the pinned comment below. Whether you try this hydration protocol or pursue other treatments, tracking your daily symptoms is crucial for understanding what works for your unique situation. 30 days of structured hydration gave me my life back. It can do the same for you, but only if you're willing to commit to doing it exactly right. Your prostate symptoms don't have to control your life. You don't have to accept getting up all night as part of getting older. Sometimes the most powerful solutions are the simplest ones, hiding in plain sight.